about that. All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the June 20th Common Council meeting. I welcome everybody here and then also welcome those that are streaming online. So at this point, Pat Gable, would you take roll call?
Finkler? Here. Hammer?
Here.
Gray?
Present.
Motive is excused. Reed?
Here.
Rolke?
Present.
Steiner?
Here.
Okay, and we have had notice of open meeting. Yes. Pardon? Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped over the pledge. If you could please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And Pat did say that we have had notice of open meeting. I would look for a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I move to approve tonight's agenda with an amendment to add citizen comments.
Alder Gray, seconds.
Okay, I have a motion by Alder Finkler and a second by Alder Gray, correct? To approve the agenda with including citizens' comments under the next item. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, correspondence and communications. Were there any other correspondence and communications before citizens' comments, Pat, that you're aware of? No? Okay. First on will be Amy Rolke. So.
Is it okay if I just do this here?
Yeah.
Okay. I am actually just reading a letter that was sent to me on behalf of the sender, who is Signe Hagenson, but for the record, my address is 531 Park Avenue. It says, Dear Council President Rolke and Columbus City Council members, my name is Signe Hagenson. I'm currently 18 years old and lived in Columbus, Wisconsin for most of my life. I was honored to learn you may be considering my art for a banner in downtown Columbus and wish to give you my artist's statement of the drawing. Since I could hold a crayon, I have loved art and drawing. In the fall, I will be starting college to earn a bachelor's degree in fine arts with an emphasis on animation, illustration, and game art. I've loved being an active member of the Columbus community throughout the arts. In grade school, I participated in the Red Bud Days tree art contests, among other things. In middle school, I designed the Columbus Community Learning Center logo, which is still being used today. I also love the performing arts and was a member of the Columbus Partners Dance Studio for 8 years and played roles in the plays Clue and The Sound of Music. In high school, I designed the yearbook cover for the 2021-2022 yearbook. This was during a time when our high school football team, my classmates, were playing better than ever. I felt it fitting to draw a strong and focused game day cardinal, which is the one before you for consideration. The expression on the face of the cardinal is a game day face. It portrays a strong competitor, confident, focused, in tip-top physical shape, and ready for any competitor. In no way is the expression intended to be expressed or implied of anger. Rather, it is one of a confident champion. I chose a tank jersey rather than a t-shirt or long-sleeve style, as the tank style was more appropriate to show the cardinal bird's strong winged arms. I hope this clears up any questions you may have of the art, and I thank you for the opportunity to add my art to the Columbus community. Sincerely, Signe Hagenson.
Okay, thank you. I forgot to mention that comments will be limited to 3 minutes, so as you're speaking, keep that in mind. And Alder Rolke was at about 1 minute and 30 seconds or so. Okay, the first person that we have on here is Karen Wheelock. So if you could state name and address, please.
Hi, I am Karen Wheelock, and I live at 555 Richmond Street with my husband. I'm an ally to the LGBTQIA+ community, and I'm here again to request that the Pride flag be flown by the city for the rest of the month of June this year and in the years to come. Last meeting it was brought up that residents can fly their own Pride flags. A lot of us are doing that, but what about the kids that identify as LGBTQIA+ with unsupportive parents? It's important for us to support these kids at a local level so that they feel safe in their own community. The Progress Pride flag that the city already owns is more inclusive than some might think. It has black and brown stripes representing people of color on it, in addition to the colors representing the LGBTQIA+ community. It is a good representation of the city showing itself as an inclusive place. Kate Bender could not be here tonight, but she is supporting the plan from afar as she is celebrating Pride with some friends in Washington, D.C. She also has pledged that her family will donate any flags that the city would be willing to fly for nationally designated observances. She says, quote, "I am currently witnessing our nation's capital proudly and openly supporting the LGBTQIA+ community for Pride Month. If we can do it here, we can do it in Columbus. I hope that this can be the start of years of inclusion for our city, and I hope to see the flag flying when I return home in a few days. Please vote yes," end quote. Last year, when the flag was flown for the first time, I was very proud to call myself a Columbus resident. Seeing the hope and joy on the faces of those in attendance was a beautiful experience, and that's what a flag can do for a community. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Next is Travis Hyman. Name and address, please.
You got it. I'm Travis Hyman. My address is 344 West Mill Street. In light of what was said last meeting about what the pride flag represents, implying that it represents something negative or is a controversial symbol, I would like to take this opportunity to talk about the powerful symbolism of the pride flag and the importance of the city displaying it during Pride Month. The pride flag represents more than just a colorful symbol. It embodies the struggles, achievements, and aspirations of the LGBTQ+ community. The pride flag is a symbol of visibility and recognition. By displaying the pride flag, you can demonstrate your commitment to acknowledging and valuing the existence and experiences of LGBTQ+ citizens. It sends a powerful message that they are seen, heard, and embraced as equal citizens in our city. The pride flag beautifully represents inclusivity, acceptance, and unity. When you display the pride flag downtown, you make a statement that you stand with the LGBTQ+ community and promote an inclusive society. It encourages dialogue, understanding, and empathy, as well as a sense of belonging and community for all. The pride flag also signifies progress and equality. It reinforces the importance of creating a society where every individual, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity, can live free from fear and discrimination. Displaying the pride flag during Pride Month, this year and every year going forward, serves as a beacon of hope for LGBTQ+ individuals and youth. For young individuals, seeing their city government proudly flying the pride flag, can be a source of inspiration and reassurance. It lets them know that they are not alone and that their city supports and celebrates them and their existence. In conclusion, the pride flag represents visibility, inclusivity, progress, and hope. When we display the pride flag during Pride Month, it sends a powerful message of support, acceptance, and equality to the LGBTQ+ community, especially our young people. It is a symbolic gesture that reaffirms the commitment to building a community where everyone can live without fear. Tonight, you will send a message to our LGBTQ citizens, either positive or negative. I urge you to send a positive message by issuing a proclamation for Pride Month and raising the pride flag downtown as a powerful sign of unity for all citizens of Columbus regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. Let us continue working together towards a future that embraces diversity, fosters inclusivity, and celebrates the rights and dignity of all individuals. Thank you.
Thank you. Adam Pulver.
My name is Adam Pulver, 348 Chapin Street in Columbus. I spoke 2 weeks ago about how raising the pride flag was a personal issue to me, having several gay and transgender friends and family members. I noted how last year's flag raising was a tremendous step forward, how the city benefits by showing its true colors as an accepting, welcoming community, and that despite increasing support for LGBT individuals, how they are still under attack in much of America. Such attacks are one reason we reject the argument that the American flag should be good enough for every group. Many places in this country are openly hateful to LGBT individuals, with laws making it unsafe to live or even travel there. Yet these hostile states still get stars on that flag. As Americans, we can all honor the flag together. But for members of the LGBT community and their allies, the notion of expecting us to treat the U.S. flag as a show of support in the same vein as the pride flag is misguided at best and disdainful at worst. Besides, flying the American flag says nothing. Every city flies one. But the pride flag, that's sending a message of inclusion. That's sending a message that people are welcome here. And as this is a government acting on an Alder-introduced resolution, you are under no pressure to be consistent if less than desirable groups demand less than desirable flags. Of course the city would not be obligated to fly a Confederate flag above the statue of a Union soldier. That's absurd. The city has some freedom to be selective in its speech. You are free to ignore us, which is why we are imploring you so strongly to take advantage of this opportunity and do what's morally right. Either way, your vote tonight will send a message. I've heard some say we shouldn't fly the pride flag as it doesn't represent everyone. So what? I'm not a veteran. I don't mind POW MIA flags in the park. I am not black. I would have loved to see a Juneteenth flag yesterday. In fact, the pride flag doesn't apply to me personally. For all the letters in LGBTQIA, I don't fit under any of them. I'm part of this effort because we care about representing those who feel underrepresented in this city and in this country, especially those who are pushed down just for existing a certain way. So we ask you to fly the pride flag for the rest of June and every June hereafter. If you're scared of that part, you always have the power to undo it, but why would you want to? Flying the pride flag is a powerful, positive message that supports a community in need. It is not about supporting activists, as evidenced by the multiple LGBT-friendly churches in Columbus. It's not about religion. Everyone on this council has expressed support for the LGBT community in some fashion, and this is your opportunity to show those aren't just words and to do some good at no cost and no negative repercussions. You have no excuse not to. Thank you.
Thank you. Next would be Corey Olson, and I'm not sure, Rappe?
It's Rappy.
Or Rappy? Okay. Thank you.
Hi. Well, to be preceded by such wonderful speakers, Corey Olson Rappy, 340 West School Street, Columbus. I just want to be here as an ally to say that I support this measure to fly the pride flag in Columbus, and I'm very nervous speaking up here right now. I think it is an important way to show members of our own community and communities around us that we are inclusive and we embrace everybody.
Thank you. Ben Wiseman.
Yeah, Ben Wiseman, 122 West Church Street. I could have put together some sort of speech, but I'm not a fan of them. At least not for myself personally. You guys did good. So, my main contention is, rather than try to appeal to some sort of, empathy or doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, let me ask you a simple question. Which demographic do you want to cater to? Do you want to cater to a bunch of uneducated, ignorant hicks, or young, educated, working-age people? Do you want the town of Columbus to be appealing to people with money from Madison and Sun Prairie to move to, or do you want them to look at it as just another backwater in rural Wisconsin? By making the town's default position be to stand with ignorance and homophobia, you've really sent a strong signal that the town is stagnant, dead, dying, right? So when you think about making a stand to say, yeah, this town is anti-woke or whatever, just try to think about all the people that you're trying to attract to the town and the fact that most people in the country, in general, and especially most young people, most educated people, i.e. the people with money that you're trying to attract to grow a town, find that pretty repulsive, okay? So, yeah, that's all I got to say, but, try to be smart about it.
Thank you. And then Jalen Hammond, is it? And then Sophia Blumenthal.
Yes.
Are you speaking separately?
We were just gonna Did you want us to speak separately? I don't know. I'm not familiar.
Well,
with
there's
the-
3 minutes, so, or if you
I
want
don't
each
think
other.
we'll take up the 3 minutes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'll go.
And then names and addresses,
Yeah.
please.
Hi, I'm Sophia Blumenthal. My address is 333 South Ludington Street. I'm here to speak from the perspective of a student who just graduated this past year. And forgive me if I get emotional, but for the past couple of years, I've helped run the GSA at the high school, which, if you don't know what that stands for, it's the Gender Sexuality Alliance. It's one of, if not the only group at the high school that makes queer youth feel safe and comfortable to be themselves and express themselves. And I've heard so much hurt and so much pain through that group, but only because we were the group that showed them that they could feel comfortable and feel safe. When I drive down the road, there is a house that says, it says, "Let's go Brandon," and all these other political things, but the one that really sticks to me is the pride flag that says "culture rot." And that just shows to me the kind of people that do exist in this town. But by you flying the flag, it would show that as a city, we choose to stand against that. We choose to welcome these youth in a society that will make them feel safe, because they have houses that don't make them feel safe. They have friends that bully them and harass them, and a school administration that won't even support them and help them with the issues that they bring up to them. It's a discussion that the GSA had, and it was just one of the many things that GSA did to help them.
I'm Jalen Hammond. My address is N4100 Hammond Road. Once again, I also help run the GSA at Columbus High School. I just graduated this year. And similar to what Sophia said, I've heard a lot of people come to me with things that people have said to them. Other students have called them names, have harassed them, or just been downright rude to them just for who they are, who they identify as. And I want to leave you all with a statistic to show why this is important, to show that our city supports these kids. LGBTQ youth is 4 times as likely to commit suicide as their straight peers. Now, obviously, that is a really difficult statistic, and anything that we can do as a town to help bring that statistic down is amazing. These kids need support, and in this town and in our high school, I'm currently not seeing it. I would love to tell them that everyone will accept them, but it's not true.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have anything further to say? I mean, it was the 2 of you, so it's...
No, it's okay.
Okay.
We got our message.
All right. Thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody. The next item is the consent agenda. So if I may have there were a couple of operators that were added to the licenses. So it's the Council and Committee of the Whole minutes from 6/6, the operators licenses for 7/1/23 through 6/30/25, and then a mayoral appointment. So with that, if I may have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Alder Finkler will move to approve the consent agenda.
Reed will second.
Okay, I have a motion from Alder Finkler to approve the consent agenda, and a second from Alder Reed. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, under new business, we have let's see, I must have grabbed that out of there. Approve the new Class A alcohol license application for La Titina Mexican store at 146 West Mill Street. The building and fire inspections are complete with no issues. So if I may have a motion to approve the Class A alcohol license for La Titina Mexican store.
Alder Gray moves to approve the Class A license for La Latina Mexican store at 146 West Mill Street.
Alder Steiner can second.
Okay, I have a motion from Alder Gray and a second from Alder Steiner to approve the Class A liquor license or alcohol license application for La Titina Mexican store. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda is to approve the resolution for the compliance maintenance annual report. This is a report that the wastewater treatment facility needs to submit to the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. And it was presented last week or last meeting and moved forward for approval. So may I have a motion to approve the compliance maintenance report under Resolution 523, 2022.
Alder Finkler will move to approve the compliance maintenance report under Resolution 523, 2022.
Alder Rolke will second.
Okay, I have a motion by Alder Finkler and a second by Alder Rolke to approve the resolution number 5-23, 2022, the compliance maintenance report for the wastewater treatment facility. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda is to consider the recommendation of the Beautification Committee to use the Charlie Cardinal logo on banners and be allowed to install the banners in the downtown area. So may I have entertain a motion to approve the recommendation of the Beautification Committee to use the Charlie Cardinal logo.
Alder Gray moves to approve the use of the Charlie Cardinal logo on the downtown banners.
Alder Rolke will second.
Okay, I have a motion by Alder Gray and a second by Alder Rolke to approve the recommendation of the Beautification Committee to use the Charlie Cardinal logo on downtown banners. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have recommendation of the alders to recognize Pride Month or LGBTQIA plus month and to raise the flag for this month of June as well as all future months of June. Can I have a motion to approve the recommendation?
Alder Gray moves to approve the resolution in support of LGBTQ plus Pride Month.
Alder Rolke will second.
Okay, I have a motion by Alder Gray and a second by Alder Rolke to approve the recommendation of the alders to recognize Pride Month or LGBTQIA plus month and to raise the flag, Pride flag for this month of June as well as all future months of June. Any discussion?
Well, here we are again. It's good to see so many people come out and support what they believe. I think it's really grand. But what the flag stands for, in my opinion, is not what's in question here. By the comments, it seems like there's a big support for LGBTQIA plus and everything, and that's grand. But I've heard also certain comments that there's other people on the other side. As a government institution, we have to remain neutral. If you want to support by all means. But we can't pick and choose who we want in our community. We can't pick and choose who has value and who doesn't. It's one of those things that we have to be representative of everybody. The diversity that we have is on this council, it's on this panel, it's in this community itself, not in our flag and our banner. What represents there is the Constitution, everybody's freedoms. When we're sworn in here, we swear to take an oath to protect the Constitution of the United States. And that represents everyone's rights, everyone's freedoms, everyone's liberties. by separating us into whatever gender you want, gay, straight, black, white, up, down, whatever it is, that's not really representative of everybody. You may disagree with certain people. You may not want certain people within your town, community, whatever, but you don't get to decide that. And as a government institution, we can't pick sides. We have to remain neutral. So I would urge council to not approve this resolution for the basic fact that we're not here to pick sides on which argument we like best, which idea we think is representative of the community. We have to remain unbiased and open to everything.
Alder Gray.
It is literally our job on council to make these decisions. It is our job to not remain neutral. We are not Switzerland, and if we were, we would be flying the pride flag, actually, even though they are the standard of neutrality. It's an absurd statement to even come at that. America has never been neutral in any means, in any word, in any topic, in any scenario. We have never been neutral. We have been quite the opposite of neutral. That is just a non-starter for me. But I will not go into contradicting more things or coming against things. I have made a motion. Alder Rolke has seconded it. I have nothing more to say than has been said by all of the amazing people that are here today.
Alder Finkler.
So I had to write down my thoughts on this because it's a very hard topic. And I'll start with that no matter how you word your thoughts, things will be twisted negatively. I experienced this already, and it saddens me. I am very close to the LGBTQIA+ community, but find it unfair that if you disagree with the approach to the pride flag, you are either classified as homophobic or forced to come out to not be called homophobic. That is not inclusive. Fact is that not every part of the LGBTQIA+ community is in support of the pride flag being flown at city level. I have received lots of feedback on this topic, both for and against a persistent resolution. That feedback has included no's from many people part of the LGBTQIA+ community. The majority of feedback I received was no for persistent resolution and worries of a flag in general, as we would be setting a precedence. I view this decision as whether it is a mayor or council that should be determining Pride Month in Columbus. Historically, this is not done by city councils across the U.S. Even in Madison and Dane County, where it was recently announced as a sanctuary for LGBTQIA+ community, proclaims Pride Month through governor proclamation. The president proclaims on the national level. I worry this topic is brought up to try to make our current mayor look bad, and that is not what the council should be about. This is unproductive and unprofessional. Not to mention, takes time away from the important topics like development, stormwater, overall infrastructure of the city, and replacing our city administrator. With that said, I move to amend the resolution to declare this June as Pride Month, but postpone the decision on adding the pride flag and persistence until April of 2024.
Alder Gray.
Alder Finkler.
There's not supposed to be discussion unless somebody seconds it.
We are still on the same motion there.
No, I
can
move
still have
to amend it.
discussion. Does anybody want to second that?
I'll second it.
All right, so now there's discussion.
Yeah.
So, Alder Finkler couldn't be further from the truth. It is our job as alders. We are the elective legislative body. If there was a mayoral proclamation, we could discuss a mayoral proclamation, but there isn't one. We cannot keep something that doesn't exist. We cannot discuss something that does not exist. It is our jobs. If we want to show support to the LGBTQ+ community, the only way we can do it as alders is a resolution. This is our mechanism. This is what we are elected to do. The cop-out of we should leave it up to a mayor is not doing your job as an alder.
Oh, my light's still on.
No.
Sorry, Trina.
Alder Reed.
Oh, no problem. So I in no way have any type of speech. I feel, from my personal beliefs, I feel a little ironic in the sense that I feel that I cannot support the requested proposition because of the need to try to be unbiased and fair and equitable to all the citizens. I don't feel that as a governing body, we should be picking favorites. And I really do want to pick favorites, but I can't.
Alder Gray.
In no way showing support for a community is picking favorites. That is just an alt-right argument that has somehow infiltrated you. It does not show favoritism to show support for a community. That is not favoring anyone, especially a community that is marginalized and attacked every day. It is showing support. It is not showing favoritism. They are not getting special treatment. They are not getting anything except for recognition of existence. That is not calling them a favorite. That's absurd.
Oh,
Hold on. Okay.
do you have your light on to speak? Joe? No.
Well, I've just,
Oh,
no.
Mayor? Oh, yeah. I'm not sure, I know I'm new to council, but I may not be understanding my lead training correctly, but if I understand my lead training correctly, we need to now vote on my amendment that I put forward and not the original motion. Does anybody disagree with that?
That would be accurate.
Thank you.
The amendment gets voted on first, and depending on the result of the amendment, then you move back to the original motion.
Any further discussion? Okay, I just have one comment before the vote goes through. We've heard various comments from all sides. As mayor, I represent the whole city of Columbus, and the whole city does not agree with flying the pride flag. I support anybody, their right to live their lives as they choose to live. Again, the flag on my right does represent all citizens of the United States. The flag on my left, the state flag, does represent all citizens of the United States. And that's what we need to adhere to. It is, the pride flag does not represent all citizens of the city of Columbus. So, we have a motion from an amended, would you like to read your amended motion again?
Sure. I move to amend the resolution to declare this June as Pride Month, but postpone the decision on adding the flying of the pride flag and persistence resolution until April of 2024.
Okay, Alder Finkler's motion as stated. Alder Reed had seconded.
Steiner.
Or Steiner, I'm sorry. Alder Steiner had seconded. So, any further discussion? If not, then we move for a vote. And all those in favor of Alder Finkler's motion signify by aye.
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 Opposed?
Nay.
No.
Okay, motion is the resolution will be read minus the flying of the flag.
So if you're here tonight, you're recognized. Otherwise, no other day you are. Good job.
I think that's a very inappropriate because they are recognized.
You're just saying you're homophobic, mate. This is what I fucking hate about American politics.
You need to leave.
All right,
No,
it's
you
time
need
to leave. If you cannot be,
Chief,
if you cannot be respectful, then leave.
Respectful, mate. You're a useless cunt. Eat shit.
And actually, I've been called worse than that, so.
yeah, me too.
All right, so next on the agenda is to take action on the termination of the agreement with NASCO concerning the water quality trading credits. And in front of you is the termination agreement as discussed back 2 weeks ago. So if we could have entertain a motion to approve the termination of the agreement with NASCO concerning the water quality trading credits.
Alder Gray moves to approve the termination of the agreement with NASCO.
Alder Steiner can second.
Okay, I have a motion by Alder Gray and a second by Alder Steiner to approve the termination of the agreement with NASCO concerning the water quality trading credits. Do we have any discussion on this? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carry. And then next, excuse me, is to consider and take action on the claims of $493,799.31. So if I could entertain a motion for that.
Alder Steiner will motion to approve the claims of $493,791.31.
Alder Finkler will second.
Okay, I have a motion by Alder Steiner and a second by Alder Finkler to approve taking action on the claims of $493,799.31. Any discussion on the claims? Okay, Pat, would you take a roll call?
Gray.
Aye.
Reed.
Aye.
Rolke.
Aye.
Steiner.
Aye.
Finkler.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. So there was nothing on the administrator forwarded for reporting. My things is I had a opportunity. I was honored to be invited to the Columbus chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution to celebrate their 120th anniversary. I'm trying to think. Peter Kalin was there to give a little history lesson on the somewhat of the chapter, but also of all the civic groups of women's civic groups of the city of Columbus. Last Wednesday was the first of the summer concert series sponsored by the CHLPC. It was very well attended and a great night of music and socializing. The RFPs, the 3 different RFPs are in staff review and will be brought to the July 11th Committee of the Whole meeting. And finally, I just wish everyone a safe and memorable Independence Day celebration. And I guess right now I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Alder Gray moves to adjourn.
Reed will second.
Okay, I have a motion from Alder Gray and a second from Alder Reed to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned. You want a slight break before we go?
Yeah, why don't we take 5 minutes?
5-minute break.
for the consideration of the city to waive the, or consider the exception or the variance for us to add a third driveway on Commercial Avenue. And it would be on our east lot that is empty right at this point. This particular design, which I don't know if you guys have been provided.
No.
I can, is it okay if I give you a picture of it or whatever? So. And what you'll see by that is utilizing an actual pattern or flow to the deliveries where they would come from the west direction, utilize an existing driveway, come in, so the ingress is coming in and the egress going out would go out through the new drive. As you can see, that proposed, or the new addition now, really kind of constricts our space and prohibits a semi, which is on average about 69 feet long, to do any kind of a safe turn without probably damage to property and or our employees' parking. That's really it in a nutshell. It's pretty simple. It's just that we'd like that consideration. And actually, it prevents now a lot of on-street backing, which right now does occur 100%. Actually, we have another freight door which is just down a little bit to the west, and it isn't depicted there, but that a lot of our machinery deliveries or pickups take place there and load. We actually will move 50% of our pickups through this particular freight door. Because it just flows from a leaner perspective from us internally, and it actually lessens then the on-street backing over there. And again, this isn't a daily or an hourly thing. This happens, on the steel delivery side, maybe once to 2 times a week at the most. We're back to more of pulling in our inventory as needed rather than hoarding it or stocking it like everybody did during COVID. So, questions? Be more than happy to.
I think it makes sense. Safety.
Yeah, from an engineering perspective, we reviewed the site plan when it came through, and I think there's a lot of benefits to this proposal. Particularly, we looked at some alternative analysis. We wanted to see if this was legitimately a third driveway potential or if it was something that was just nice to have. And there's a couple things that really kind of went in favor of this alignment or design of the drive truck movements. One, we looked at the possibility of bringing this truck off the loading dock and going through their employee parking and customer parking area. Just from a safety perspective, we were just concerned about trucks, even though they're infrequent. They're large, they're hard to see. Visibility is tough when people are walking between cars potentially. The other thing is that, those trucks then would have to pull out on Maple Avenue, which is obviously a more heavily traveled street than Commercial. So we looked at it from a traffic standpoint and a volume standpoint, going, if we're going to put a truck on a third entrance, I would rather, from an engineering perspective, have it come out on the road with less traffic, where the trucks are already kind of funneled anyways. So the trucks kind of come off of Commercial, they'll go back out on Commercial. Otherwise, we're splitting truck traffic coming out of both sides of the site. So since they've owned that vacant lot adjacent to this facility, they have the room to do it. There's not an encroachment on any of the other adjacent properties. The separation from the driveways from an engineering standpoint makes sense. We're not crowding driveways together where we get some weird interaction with traffic that might be pulling in or out of other businesses. So, from an engineering perspective, we didn't particularly have too much concern. It was just one of these things that fell in the ordinance of limiting those 2 driveways. For very good reasons, we like to limit those driveway entrances, but I think in this application, we have no objection to it from the engineering standpoint. So.
Yeah, I'm feeling comfortable looking at the new maps. It looks like it'll help trucks to exit onto commercial, and I think they'll just make things go a lot smoother. So, yeah, increase safety. So, I approve.
Oh, thanks for your time, appreciate it.
Back on. Next on the agenda, review request of Recreation Department to host a foreign exchange student from Rotary as a summer camp youth volunteer. And Amy Jo, did you want to come speak?
Hello. So before you in your packet, I don't know if anybody has any questions, but Al Shorshine did request about a week ago, maybe a little over a week, to see if Tommy could volunteer, have some volunteer opportunities in the community. He's only here through July 12th, and our summer camp is actually ending next week because of the carnival in town. And then he would kind of help me in my office a little bit, and then help back at the camp when the carnival leaves. He has completed several background checks through Rotary, and they are covering his insurance should anything happen. And we are not paying him, so it's all strictly volunteer. So just seeking approval for some opportunities for him to learn and for kids in our camp to learn about him as well.
We would be seeking an exception to the rules tonight then, instead of moving this forward to council for 2
yes,
weeks.
thank you,
Then we
Amy.
would need
Yes,
to
I
get
am
this
asking
approved
that he can-
tonight. Do I understand? Yeah. Okay. So then I guess I would be seeking a motion to approve this evening, to make exception and,
You should first do a motion to suspend your rules.
yes, okay. So first I'd be looking for a motion to suspend the rules.
Okay, I move that we suspend the rules for, how do I word that?
Good enough for me.
Okay.
That'll work.
I can second.
I have a motion from Mayor Hammer and a second from Alder Steiner. Any further discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and so then I guess I would be seeking a second motion to approve foreign exchange student from Rotary as summer camp youth volunteer.
I move that we approve the Tommy Noel Shimatsu of the Rotary Club to be a volunteer starting Wednesday, June 22nd.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion from Mayor Hammer and a second from Alder Finkler. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
Thank you.
passes. Thank you.
I'll let him know tomorrow. He's going to work.
Thank you very much. Okay, next on the agenda, we have consider chicken application for. But we actually do have to officially table it because we didn't get it off of the agenda in time. Postpone, yes, postpone. So I guess I'm taking a motion to postpone this for tonight and put it on the next agenda of the council.
Just table.
Just, okay, okay. Just postpone, okay. Pick your word and we'll postpone. Okay. This is postponed for tonight then. And then next on the agenda, updated special assessment for Folsom Street. And Jason, did you want to speak on that?
Yeah, I'll give you the highlights here. So we ended up completing the special assessment as a final report. So as those of you who are familiar with this know that as the project wraps up, we have final quantities all measured. We have final unit prices, anything that changes in the project is incorporated into this. So then those dollars are then attributed back to the properties respectively. And it was, I thought, a very good project. I don't normally do this, but I want to thank the citizens of Folsom for being a great group to work with. I think they were very understanding, and I know it's a disruption, but we don't rebuild these streets very often, once every 30, 40 years. They're very appreciative. I think we had a great contractor. City team was awesome on this. It was a fun project. And so probably the less fun part now is the final assessment. The good news is that the assessment did go down for almost all property owners, not everybody, but almost everybody. The total overall assessment went down. The project came in under budget. That was a little bit of the reason why the project came down as well. The costs decreased as much as almost $1,000, and there was one property that increased about $600. So everything was within $1,000 plus or minus for assessments. The one property that did increase, we just ended up replacing more of their concrete driveway just to give them a match back in and to kind of tie everything back together. So that was a little something unforeseen. But with that being said, the average assessment was about $3,400 and 11.6% of the project was assessed. Obviously, the rest of the cost was picked up by the taxpayers and the borrowing. So if there's any questions about the assessment or the final numbers, two other things I wanted to point. There were 2 carriage walks that were assessed. Normally we don't do that, but on the side of the street that did not have sidewalk, we extended those carriage walks or those private sidewalks back out to the curb. And then there was one individual that did get a credit in this final assessment. And that was for the sidewalk that the DOT had put in last year that didn't meet code. It was 4 feet wide instead of 5 feet wide. And so we ended up tearing out some sidewalk and didn't feel from an engineering standpoint that we should assess the property owner for that mistake that was made by the DOT. So that piece was credited back in here. So with that being said, those are only the 2 things that were really kind of unusual. Otherwise, it was a pretty standard assessment for this type of project. So any questions? Thank you.
Brandon's not here.
Okay. Yeah, this is, next meeting is when we would approve the budget timeline, and the budget timeline is this. So it's just a matter of you reviewing it, if you're comfortable with how this timeline is, and then we move it forward if need be, or not need be, until the July 11th meeting, so.
We need to.
We need to, yeah. So if you don't have any questions on anything, although Brandon's not here and Chris isn't here, so it's tough to get any answers on that. But Brandon said in the past that this has just been, standard where you receive it, you see what the timeline is, and then we approve it, the timeline at the next meeting, so.
Okay.
So move forward.
All right, so next on the agenda, I would take a motion to adjourn.
I will move to adjourn.
Reed seconds.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
I was so fast.